gorgeous souls, welcome to the Lady Level Up Pause podcast. I am your host, Karizza Cuello. As an empowerment coach with a soul for women, I am passionate on helping those who are ready to rise above their struggles. I believe every woman is capable of stepping fully into the fullest expression of her soul. And I also believe every woman can achieve harmonious success in her life. In this podcast series, I will be sharing about golden nuggets and fully stepping into your personal sacred power. I will be sharing with you spiritual tools, process, mindset, teachings, and my stories that can help you deliver your own transformation. It is my intention to help you see that you are not limited by your past and you can outgrow the old beliefs that are holding you back. Gorgeous souls, you can absolutely embody the energy and frequency of a woman determined to rise. I am excited for you and our journey together. Hi, gorgeous souls. Welcome to today's episode. I will give you a short update on our COVID situation here where I live in the Philippines. We will be quarantined until the end of the month, and finally, I hope we can go back to our normal routine by the 1st of May. It feels weird being restricted with our usual movements. Of course, we are all doing this intentionally not to have the major catastrophic consequence of not preventing the further spread of this virus. April should be summer also, but yesterday we already experienced the first heavy downpour. Normally, the first rain is during the month of May to mark the beginning of the wet season. Yesterday I was looking at it, how dark it was outside and wet. It made me realize that the weather mimics what we are going through globally. Like we are globally going through a storm and we are all waiting for it to pass. But in such tough time like this, it is giving us a deep imprint. It is almost like we are all going through a cleansing process. Now that we are at home, we cannot help but think and reflect on several things. And it's almost similar that we are on a breakdown. It is up to us after this chapter. Where are we going to direct our focus? During this crisis, it's difficult, it's dark hours of our life. And in times like this, we deserve more love, not less. Let's talk about breakthroughs. I believe that transformation and breakthroughs come from an internal place. I think also that we experience this even in small moments. I know you also have this experience. It's an invisible, yet it's very strong in our feeling, and it is compelling us to move, to make a decision. Like there's no turning back. It's like a life force that is trying to tell us a deeper truth about where we need to go on our path. Sometimes it feels like it is bigger than us. It is greater than who we believe we currently are. And those deep desires, I feel like it is divine and there are hidden gifts under it that is for us to use. Gifted by our higher power, however you want to call it, God, source, universe. And what bridges us to from where we are currently now and that part of us that we are meant to be discovered is our intention, our faith, our self-trust, and our focus. These are also invisible qualities, but they are enough and they has a strong energy behind it to help us, and it can serve as our light on our path for our next steps. in such tough times like what we are currently going through right now, I am encouraging you to ask these questions. Number one is, what am I choosing to believe about life? Number two, where will I rest my hopes for tomorrow? And because when we put things into perspective, our breakdown is it serves as our wake up call. Personally, for me, I receive many wake up call and I will share with you my recent ones. Number one is when I pushed myself to my limits, overworking, constantly over delivering, my health was suffering. Number two is when I experienced the tsunami scare after an earthquake while vacationing on my birthday in Thailand. I experienced the airport was shut down, flights were canceled, we were evacuated on a higher place, we were fed on the evacuation center. And number three is the recent threat of the Tal volcano that erupted near our areas. These are the recent, there is a hidden message for me with this experience. I believe that even in dark times, even there is a storm, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. And I know it's very difficult for most people to see this, but I will share with you the 6 windows of light that I learned on my personal experience. Number one is in tough experiences, it always creates an impact on how I show up in my life. Number two, it always brings out a degree of honesty within me. Number three, it brings an immediate clarity to what is important and not important. Number four is it brings me closer to my spirit. Number five, the experience, although it's difficult, it serves as a catalyst to redirect me on my path, which is ultimately my meant to be. And when I choose to trust that it is on my breakdown, I can have my breakthrough. And when I have my faith that it is for my highest good, that's when I feel the tension and the heavy burdens disappear. And although I don't know what will be tomorrow, I feel like I am still guided and protected. Having personal core belief about life helps me a lot, and I will share with you what I believe about life. When I am buried in a deep mud of confusion, I always go back to my basics. What do I believe about life? And my answer is number one, life is for me. Number two, my faith wants me to win. And these two, I affirm this until my body feels it, feels the truth of the statements. There are so many complexities about life, and you will agree with me that we cannot control everything. And what I practice, which is gives me peace and stillness, is to choose to rest my positive hopes for tomorrow, anchoring with my faith. And my trust in my faith that God wants me to win is enough for me to feel love, compassion, and to be kind towards myself. No matter how hard it is, I will choose to move through, aim forward, and to keep doing that. With a wake up call I receive, when my health was declining, it served as a catalyst for me to take care of myself physically. This is when I found and learned to love to practice yoga. Until to this day, yoga is my source of mental, emotional, and physical strength. The tsunami scare that I experienced 8 years ago served as a catalyst for me to give myself permission to find love. I cannot imagine dying in this lifetime, not giving myself a chance to be in a loving relationship. And I did found my love after that. And lastly, with the recent volcano eruption here in our area, honestly, it became my source of strength while going through this pandemic. While the alert level is at 4, this happened in January 2020. My experience mixed fears and anxiety. And during that month, I kept on praying and choosing to believe in the power of God's love. In the result, we were all kept safe. There's no massive explosion. In that experience, although it's maybe simple, it taught me the power of prayer. And in the midst of dark hours and uncertain times, my faith is enough. And I kept on repeating and affirming to myself that I am worthy of God's love and there's no degree of difficulty in miracles. And I want to end this short episode today by reminding you that in times of crisis, we more deserve love, not less. And if you are experiencing fears, turn to your faith and let it be healed by love. If there is something that you need to get honest with yourself, seek help with your faith and let it be healed by love. And if there is something to let go of, ask for courage from your faith and let it be healed by love. Also, I am inviting you to get a copy of my free PDF from my website. It is a quick guide in embracing your empowered woman. Here, I will guide you with the 4-step process, and this is for free. You can access it via the link on the show notes. And we reached the end of today's show. Join us again on the next episode of the Lady Level Up Pause podcast. Thank you for tuning in with today's episode. Say hi to me on Instagram, search at Karizza_Cuello for more inspiration and soulful vibes. Visit my website www.karizzacuello.com. Links are all on my show notes. Gorgeous souls, remember this. There is no force more beautiful than a woman determined to rise. I cannot wait to connect to you soon.